The most talked about upcoming UFC fight right now is this middleweight title bout between Sean Strickland and Dricus Du Plessis, and pros reveal their pick for this bout. Sean Strickland went wild during the UFC 279 press conference at T-Mobile Arena after a fan rushed him on stage before security escorted the young man out of the arena.
Go, goddamn, let's go! Let's go, dog! Let's go! Let's go! Yeah! Oh, man! Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys, though, real talk.
Leading up to this fight, Sean Strickland opened up and made an ominous threat to Du Plessis.
Like, no one told me this was happening.
I actually talked to Dricus after that. And I was like, Dricus, because I like the guy. Me and him are going to have a fucking war. We're going to have a fucking death match. Like, there's no other way that ends. Someone's getting knocked the fuck out.
He's going to kiss you.
He might try to grab my but, at the end of the day,
that's his coach.
Worst thing's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So I actually sent him a message, and I was like, dude, listen, Dricus, we're going to go try to murder each other. But if you bring that up again, I will stab you.
Yeah, I remember you.
Press conference, weigh-in. You bring that, I just told Dricus.
You know he's going to bring it up.
No, he was cool about it. He was cool. But again, I'm not telling you I don't want to fight you, Dricus. I'm not saying you're not a good fighter. I'm just saying that that's a line that when crossed, it transcends fighting to if I have, if I go to Canada and you bring that up, well, guess what? I'm going to go to jail. They're going to deport me. And we spent 8 weeks of training doing for no reason.
So that's the weirdest thing saying that, guys, because I was supposed to fight Dricus once, whatever. I've run into Dricus a bunch. I like Dricus. He's a nice.
In response, Du Plessis could only crack a smile and laugh at the comment, but it's clear he's not losing any sleep over a possible attack prior to their fight. Du Plessis stated, "I don't know. That's pretty intense. I don't know the legislation around here, but that seems like Team Strickland needs to check their boy. When this whole thing occurred where he said, if you do that again, he said he will kill me. He didn't say stab me. When he said kill, I said, okay, you're probably going to shoot me then. When I saw a knife, I'm like, no, that's not going to work. You won't touch me with that knife. I'll knock you out before you get to stab me." Former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya has given his prediction for the Sean Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis bout at UFC 297. He said, Dricus is going to try and wrestle him, do his offbeat rhythm, and all that kind of stuff. But the problem is, he might get jabbed by Sean in the first round, and then he'll really have to switch to grappling, because Sean's jab is underrated. Official pick, I'm going to go with Dricus. Does it go the distance? I'm gonna say no. Not that I don't respect Sean or his skills. The guy beat me, so of course I respect his skills. However, both fighters seem uninterested. At the pre-fight press conference for the event, it was revealed to Tarzan and Still Knox that the last stylebender was picking the challenger to emerge victorious.
Adesanya has given his prediction for this fight. He's picking Dricus to win by submission. I'm wondering what your thoughts are about Izzy's prediction.
Israel Adesanya is irrelevant right now. That man went on holiday and let him stay there.
Go on.
Listen, Izzy, guy, the cringe lord, the pup play himself, Izzy. I could have took Izzy down and beat his ass on the ground, but I chose to stand with him like a man. What did he do the whole fight? Run away like a bitch. Izzy, shut your mouth.
Henry Cejudo worries that middleweight champion Sean Strickland's emotions could cost him at UFC 297. Cejudo questions if Strickland will be able to control his emotions during the fight. He stated, "The biggest thing to me is where is Strickland at mentally? When you put so much stress on yourself, when you let the media in, you let analysts, guys like myself, and we're allowed to kind of express our feelings of the situation, that stuff will get to you. Either that or you probably shouldn't bring that stuff up. But it's too late now. They talk to the world, talking about stabbing Dricus Du Plessis. If you go out there on Saturday and fight emotionally, Sean, you're going to be in trouble. This is my biggest question right here. Can Sean Strickland fight? 100%, but will he fight right, or will he listen to his emotions? I love the fight, but if I had to pick somebody to be able to win, I want to go with the American, I really do." Chris Curtis breaks down messy Sean Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis title fight for UFC 297.
I'm just curious about how messy this gets. Like, Dricus is a messy guy. Sean tends to be messy in pockets, but he tends to be very clean. So it's completely different clash of style and mentality. I just don't know how it goes. If anything, I think Dricus is most dangerous his first round and a half, maybe 2 rounds. Even with the what's the last fight he had? It looked really good. Whitaker. He looked better in the Whitaker fight, but like as a fighter, I'll say he slowed down the second round. Like, I watched it slow down, but Whitaker slowed down more, never really got started. So his cardio did look better, but like I watched him slow down there in a fight that like he controlled the pace. Even at the pace he controlled, he kind of like couldn't maintain it the way he wanted. And, you know, I cornered Sean when he fight Abus off of like 11 days notice. And like keep pushing the pace until we had to say, hey man, I went in the third round, I told him like, slow down. Like, I need you to slow down. Like, you won't say, I know you're not gonna stop, but I need you to stop for me so we don't do this. So the first round and a half, I think Dricus is gonna be really dangerous, it's gonna be really scary. But the moment we hit past a 1.5 rounds, I think Sean's gonna absolutely dog walk him.
While speaking to welterweight star Sean Brady, Joe Rogan feels that Dricus Du Plessis is one of the most fearsome strikers in the middleweight division. Joe Rogan stated, "Dricus is a fake king scary." That's a guy who's so big for 85, by the way. Well, also, that's after he got his deviated septum fixed, which I think is a big factor. Dricus looks awkward when he fights, but that movement and awkwardness makes him difficult to time. It's like his timing is off. And if you don't have anybody that can initiate that kind of stutter step motion that he does, it's deceptively technical. It's his style. We can't say it's wrong. You know, like, that's how he fights. That is very good. He gets hit the least and he spars the most. Dricus Du Plessis reacted to brawl with Sean Strickland at UFC 296 and said he came here to become a champion.
Right now, the last press conference was winning on the mic. I was winning the Sean Strickland at his own game. Right now, this week where we're at, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to be the middleweight champion of the world. My focus is on fighting, not making jokes, getting the crowd to laugh, and no, that's not why I'm here. I'm here. I've already won that battle. The battle is won. Right now, the battle needs to be won. Is the one on Saturday night. That's where my mind's at.
Sonnen was technically at work when the extracurricular fight took place, and some MMA observers might argue the same for Sean Strickland and Dricus Du Plessis. Sonnen stated, "It's not as though there weren't repercussions. Strickland got thrown out. That's how security handles these things. There always becomes a question of what level of authority one needs to do it. And there seems to be this idea that it needs to be the sport or the governing body. That gets a little bit strange for me. The police have the right to arrest them if they want you to have security that stepped in. The way they chose to handle it was to remove one from the facility and tell him he'd be trespassing if he came back. It's not as though that wasn't dealt with, but no, I don't like that stuff. I'm not a prude about it, but that isn't fight promotion, that's fighting, and that isn't sanctioned fighting. That's illegal fighting." Plessis admits there was some concern that his opponent might actually torpedo the fight just so they don't actually have to meet in the octagon at UFC 297. Du Plessis said, "Am I scared that he self-sabotages this fight? Sure, that is something I've thought about. Maybe trying everything to get out of it, but no. For me right now, the last press conference was winning on the mic. That was winning with Sean Strickland at his own game. Right now, this week, where we're at, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to be the middleweight champion of the world. My focus is on fighting, not making jokes. Getting the crowd to laugh, that's not why I'm here. I've already won that battle. That battle is won. Right now, the battle that needs to be won is the one coming Saturday night, and that's where my mind's at." Alex Pereira makes his predictions. Sean Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis for UFC 297.
You predicted Sean Strickland winning the title. You were quite vocal about how you thought he would do against Israel Adesanya. I'm just curious, Sean Strickland is going to be defending his title for the first time against Dricus Du Plessis. How do you think that fight goes down?
Você foi um dos que falou que o Sean Strickland ganharia do Adesanya, falou que era um estilo bom, que era uma luta que poderia ser a favor dele. O que você acha agora dessa luta dele com o Dricus Du Plessis?
Bom, ainda não parei assim para analisar, né? Mas eu acho que dificilmente o Du Plessis ganhar do Sean Strickland. Eu acho que o chance de ganhar bem favorito.
I didn't start to really analyze the fight and really look into it, but I really believe that it's going to be really hard for Dricus Du Plessis to defeat Sean Strickland.
Pre-fight interview at MMA Crazy on YouTube. Sean Strickland goes off on Ian Gary and calls him a weak man.
Does he really want to fight me?
He said it in an interview, says he wants to move up and fight you in a couple fights.
Oh, like, God, Ian Gary is such a when you guys interview him, like, do you ever ask him, like, hey, like, you know, like, do you ever ask him, like, what are you gonna do when she's 16 or 40, and like, you know, are you allowed to other women, like, what do you like? What if? God, I hate that guy. I hate that guy so much.
So is that a no, or?
If Ian Gary was right in front of me, I'd fight him. Ian Gary's he's a piece of you guys. Like, I think we could all agree that Ian Gary is a piece of. You know, can I get a raise of hands? Everybody's raising their hands. Congratulations. Thank you guys. But I mean, he's a piece of shit. Like, what do you think about him making fun of what do you think as a Canadian,
I don't think he should lock his account when he's, you know, going after Jeff Neal and Neil Mann.
Yeah, that's up, man. You know, I mean, after I did that, I posted my mugshot, you know. It's funny, my charges are way more serious than off Neil's. But yeah, no, Ian Gary, he's a weak man. He's a weak man. And this is what I try to tell people, man. You meet these all day long and they smile and they shake your fucking hand and they smile, but really, like, their core is fucking rotted.
Dricus Du Plessis reacts to Sean Strickland's emotional interview and points out the hypocrisy.
Yeah, I mean, I watched some clips on it. I didn't watch the whole interview. Like I said, watching grown man cry is not really my genre. But yeah, I think what I said is I'm glad he got it out. I hope it's the end of it. That. No, he had a lot to say about Khalil Roundtree, right? And he said how weak of a man beta male Khalil is for crying. He did the exact same thing, just on a bigger stage. And, you know, not talking about somebody's wife. I'm assuming because he has somebody in his life, now that became a thing where he didn't care about Ian Gary's wife when he said what he said. And it wasn't his place to say anything. I mean, but whatever. I mean, he is what that's the one thing in this whole situation where.
Will we get a new middleweight champion at UFC 297, or will the current king continue his reign? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below.